Welcome to CATtheMinion YouTube channel. My name is Teresa, but you can call me Cat. I'm doing card of the day using the Wild Unknown Tarot. I forgot to bring the mirror over here today to try to make my lighting better, but that's alright. I think there's enough daylight trickling in. I didn't do one yesterday. I was busy making other videos and stuff. Been a little bit on the sick side. I had my throat chakra acting up. I had my third eye and my crown chakra tweaking out, so I had all the sinus and whatever going on. It is the 15th here as I'm recording this. Uranus retrograding today into Taurus, as I hear. Been getting information about it for the last couple of weeks. It hit that pre-shadow real hard. Before I get a card out here, I just want to say that I've been populating the tiers in my Patreon, which is part of the videos that I've been working on, and I did put out one or two for regular YouTube. I'm changing the weekend pick-a-pile to weekly, and changing the day that they're coming out. I mean, it's basically weekly, but it's just on a different day. So I changed the title slightly, and then when I do horoscopes for YouTube, they're going to be by element, so there'll be 4 separate ones. And it'll be shorter. And then individual horoscopes are going to be on Patreon. I moved all of my art tutorials to Patreon. If you bookmarked them, bully for you. Otherwise, you'll have to go and join the third tier to see them. And yeah, so on Patreon, tier 2 is romantic readings every week. Every other week is regular, and then the alternate weeks is twin flame. And the first tier is the horoscope videos. And what else did I put on there? Oh, charm videos, a weekly overview, like a sort of a day by day with the charms. And then I did use the charms for the twin flame reading that I put up for the 18th. And access to buy art before it hits the catalog is tier 2 as well. And then the third tier is going to have meditations. I have a couple of scripts written, but I haven't recorded them yet. I do have a headset ready to go, so that's what's going on over there. If you're tier 2, I think it's 3 months in, you'll be able to get a sticker, and then tier 3, 3 months in, you'll be able to get a mug with the kitty logo on it. It doesn't sound like much, but it's kind of a lot. I also moved out of the Adventures with Plastic Crack, the video of rerouting the Malibu Barbie and repainting her, because that was a how-to video. And I'm gonna probably, well, I think I deleted it because I made it over a month ago, but you'll see that doll again. Again, if you bookmark that video, then you'll be able to get to it without going through Patreon. But the in terms of like how to make things, how I'm making my art, I'm not going to be putting that out on open YouTube. But I mean, I'll do like reveal videos, like the totally hairstyling head and the goth holiday doll that I just did. You can kind of see her in the background over there. That video's staying up because it wasn't a how-to. It was just like, this is what I started with and this is how it finished. So I will show that Stacy doll again, but not the full how-to. I moved the how to draw faces video too, so again, if you bookmark that, you'll still be able to get to it, but if you haven't seen it yet, then you won't be able to see it without going through Patreon. It's a whole new system. And the reason that I'm only doing the horoscopes and the romantic videos on Patreon is because I think people tend to rely on them a little bit too much. I know that they're fun and they can be addictive, but there has to be a reason why you're watching them. You really need to think about why you need the information and how you're applying it to, because you shouldn't be in this place of constantly pulling on the energy ties between you and someone else. You need to have space and time to think about what's going on. That being said, the pick-a-pile and the horoscope readings and the card of the day readings do sometimes pull up romantic and or twin flame information. So it's not like there's never going to be romantic information. And sometimes in the energy readings and sometimes in the entity channelings, but it's kind of where the energy pops up instead of going and being, what's my person thinking about me every other day or every, 4 or 5 times a week. Alright, so all that being said, additionally, if you order a reading, I have the list of readings there in the description box of my infomercial video, and the samples are in the Readings for Sale sample playlist. The charms I'm only using on Patreon. I made like 150 little charms. I used them a couple times. They're really, really potent little chips there. I'm not going to be using those on YouTube at large, but if you want to, you can add charm usage to any tarot reading you buy for $7, and that's listed in that information as well. I have 2 readings that I'm adding, the Lenormand 9 grid and the 16 grid, and each of those comes with an oracle card for overview, and I haven't done samples of those yet, but I have done the 9 a couple of times for the pick-a-pile, so you can see it there, and then I'm going to put samples in that sample playlist too. So now that I'm almost 8 minutes in, I'm going to get the card, which is apparently 2 cards. The Ace of Pentacles and Justice, both coming out inverted. So what I see here, this deck, it's 8, and then I have an Ace. So that does tell me 18, the Moon, but it also looks like a 1 with the sword, and then a 0 with a 10. And I'm also getting 11 in the back of my head, because Justice is usually 11, but sometimes it's 8, because it tends to switch index with Strength, and I don't know why. We also have a duality here, Dark and Light. But it's coming in as an Injustice, but let me see these energies. Oh, it's Libra. I don't know why I had to look that up. You can see the Pentacle very clearly here as well. Now, I find it interesting that we're starting a retrograde with both cards coming out inverted. I'm just trying to get, like, a sense of what's going on here. This is... switch gears from talking about stuff to actually divining what's going on. I'm going to see what's on the bottom of the deck. Three of Wands inverted. This is that triangular portal into the future. Inverted. So if 8 and 3, that's 11. That's the 11 I was missing there, okay? Okay, so here we go. Three of Wands, the Sun in Aries. Inverted, that tells me moon energy, and I already picked off the moon because of the 1 and the 8. So we are going to be dealing with like a bottleneck on the 19th with the new moon. There's already this idea that there's something that's not growing, that's in this situation of being unjust. It's not fair. And this, whatever you want coming in for the future isn't coming in. No growth, no future. But if I take these separately, I have 13, which is death. But I also have 4, which is like an absence of leadership or an absence of foundation. Although 4 Pentacles inverted would be letting go of that which doesn't serve you anymore. So perhaps you've been trying to force something to occur that is against your sole purpose and creating the sort of karmic resistance that's trying to squeeze you into the slot where you need to go instead of the other slot over here where you're trying to be. I just heard arrested development. I'm gonna get another card. I think some of the obscurity has to do with an air elemental going invert, because Uranus is associated with Aquarius, which is air, and we have, it's like putting the plugs in the wall backwards, crossing the streams. Power surge, but also growth. Oh, there's another one that flipped over too. Queen of Swords. So through this death cycle 13, we gain this ability to have a creative power in dealing with the truth, which leads to this solar power surge that says, hang on, this is the way. What are you holding on to this resistance for? There is no justice in tormenting yourself to create a future out of something that's already dead. I mean, the tree is dead. It's cut open. It's done. There's nothing else happening. But notice that this wand is like a branch of new growth. It's a switch. I think the lyric in Epic Rap Battles of History, it was Shakespeare versus Dr. Seuss. And I think he said, I'm switching up my flow like the Beatles with their pieces, but I could be mistaken. It's something like that. I'm pretty sure that's what it's from. This could also be a 1, so we could have 11 here as well, which indicates universal timing, right? It's time to reach out of the darkness. Or you may find a friend. I think that song is by a group called Friend and Lover. So, I don't think I'm fully explaining it very well, but I feel really intently that that particular epic rap battle is relevant to what these energies are doing. You know, it's like fighting for dominance over your situation, but it's so far removed from where you need to be as to be like almost laughable, but it's hard to have that perspective when you're in it. It's like, I need to win. Why am I not king of this hill? Like, I'm gonna fight you tooth and nail to be declared the true speaker of this record. But what happens when you allow your consciousness to be shifted by the current, the electricity of the retrograde, then your current situation becomes much clearer. Right? There's truth and purpose and creativity and intuition. The ability to cut a bitch, to cut out what you don't need, this injustice that no longer serves, this, what have I been doing with my life? I thought this was the thing, and it turns out it's, you know, rotted, basically. Alright, so that's a lot. I think that's enough. Looks like there was another card going the other way. I guess that's it. Yeah. Alright, so if you want to get one of those readings that I was talking about with or without charms, you can go ahead and check out the description box of my infomercial video. It's linked below here. If you want to contribute, you can come over and be a patron at Patreon. You can also donate, paypal.me/CATtheMinion. I also have Cash App and Venmo. You can find me at these fine establishments. I have coloring books on Amazon and a poetry book, which is Dark Night of the Soul kind of stuff. I have stuff in my catalog here. There's a PDF that you can get in the linked from that description box as well. There's chapbook packs, which are like mystery, synchronicity, stimulus. It's writing, it's images. It's kind of like a little throwdown of Oracle and actual art pieces, singles. Once they're gone, made to order stuff. So all that's available. If you have any questions, you can email me, thecatcamebackatcamp@gmail.com. Alright, so stay groovy, and we'll see you later. Bye.